Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video on the Constructive Criticism YouTube channel. I'm Spencer, I'm the host of Constructive Criticism, and today we're talking about a standard deck that is not, I repeat, this is in fact not a Fill the Deck deck. Today we're going to talk about Gruul Aggro. This is a deck that my co-host Matt Kling had been playing, that he knew I love Gruul, he was telling me about it, and I think it took 16th place at Fandom Legends earlier this week from Skyblizz. And, I made some changes back, made some changes again, and ended up on this list that I'm excited to talk about today. So let's go over the main deck really quick. We have 4 Pelt Collector, 4 Robber of the Rich, 4 Zertog Goblin, 4 Bone Crusher Giant, 4 Gruul Spellbreaker, 4 Questing Beast, 2 Sarkhan Hellkite, 1 Domri Anarcho-Bolas, 1 Domri Chaos Springer, 3 Domri's Ambush, 4 Once Upon a Time, and 2 Ember Cleave. We have 23 lands with 2 Castle, 3 Fable Passage, 9 Forest, 5 Mountains, and 4 Stomping Grounds. Our sideboard is 3 Veil of Summer, 3 Lava Coil, 3 Flame Sweep, 2 Shifting Ceratops, 2 Tectonic Rift, and 2 Sarkhan the Masterless. So, I could kind of go back really quick. I think I ended up only 2 cards different from the list from Fandom Legends. I think I cut a Domri's Ambush and a Sarkhan is what ended up being different by playing these 2 Domris. The Domri Anarcho-Bolas for the Domri's Ambush was a pretty quick change for me. I think that, having some kind of split there is totally fine. You lose out on, killing some number of Planeswalkers, but you actually gain a lot of games where you can play, you can fix your mana a little bit better with this card. You can, when you have things like Questing Beast in your deck, and double red spells like technically Bone Crusher Giant a lot of the time, and Skargan Hellkite, sometimes you gotta switch things up. But, it was a pretty good change. It's won me a couple games where it granted pseudo haste in the form of like a 2-power haster plus mana to play a Zertog Goblin or something, and then the Zertog Goblin is another 3-power. That's happened a couple times, so been pretty happy with Domri. The other Domri, Chaos Bringer, I originally had 2 in this list. I cut it back down to 1. The reason is because I actually had another one less Once Upon a Time in the deck, but I found I was mulliganing a ton because I didn't have enough mana, and I didn't really want the 24th land. I found that the Once Upon a Times have actually just kind of been totally fine, serviceable as the second land drop, or one of the first spells that you play. In all honesty, Once Upon a Time has just been one of the best cards in Standard so far that I've been playing, and I did not expect that. I expected it to be pretty good, not like World is Falling like some people were thinking, but overall, Once Upon a Time has let me play less lands. It goes and gets a Bone Crusher Giant. It lets me play less of different effects, and then it makes me have a ton of different effects of things that I like and things that I want. Whether it's Arbor, a Boreal Grazer, or Pelt Collector, and depending on the deck that you're playing, you gotta find your 1-drop, play your 1-drop, or find the lands to play your things really, really fast. It's really good dig. I've been really impressed with the card, and so I went back up to 4 of them and went back down on Domri's. I don't think that you would be that wrong for cutting a Once Upon a Time for a Domri again. You just start only playing 23 lands, so it can be a little bit hard to not play for Once Upon a Time. You could also honestly just cut the Once Upon a Time for a land if you really, really wanted to. I don't think that would be a problem. The cards that are really the most impressive in this deck, I think, are, Ember Cleave is something that we talked about in our set review over on Constructive Criticism. And honestly, the card just impresses. I think it really does a lot for this deck. Giving double strike to your Death Touch creature in the form of Questing Beasts, or just really going over the top with some of your larger creatures. Embercleave has just kind of been a house for me. One thing that I didn't change in this deck, and that I've been really, really happy with, is actually the sideboard. I didn't change a single card. I haven't had a reason to change a card. It kind of has, 3 of a lot of effects you want, 2 of a lot of effects you want. I've just been model impressed with this. So with this sideboard, I think that you have game plans against, Thought Erasure decks. You have game plans against, Tectonic Rift has also been really surprising. So many a lot of games where I'm like, hey, kill your land, attack you for 11, and then they don't really have a way to recover after that. As far as it being both a way to stop zombies from blocking and prevent your opponent from have zombies, it's been really good. Robber of the Rich is one that also surprised me quite a bit. When I think about this card, I thought that it would kind of be like a sideboard card that you play a little bit of, but because you're like a really fast Pelt Collector deck, you get to attack with this quite a bit. I'm not as impressed with it as my co-host Matt is, but it has been impressive. It's been able to quickly get in there. There was a game where Matt's opponent mulliganed to 5, and he still got a trigger off of his first Robber of the Rich. So I think that the deck just is fast enough to really exploit this, and also, just it's a pretty good shoe drop to play alongside your Pelt Collector. And when you get those kind of draws into maybe something like a turn 3 Gruul Spellbreaker, it's really, really hard for your opponent to catch up. So, other than that, I think the deck is pretty straightforward. It's not very much like the Warriors deck, which was able to really, really grind people out. One of the things that I've noticed with this deck is it's super aggressive. Like it's this big dumb green deck that just has so many haste creatures. I mean, you have 4 Robber of the Ridge, 4 Zertog Goblin, 4 Gruul Spellbreaker, 4 Questing Beast, 2 Sarkin Hellkite. So you just have. I think that only 8 of your creatures don't have haste, which is just all of them. Like that means you have I think that puts you at 16 or 18 creatures with haste. Like there's just so many creatures with haste. I've had many opponents just attack things they were totally safe to quickly die to another haste creature. Overall, I think that this deck is one that I'd be pretty happy to play right now. If I was to play a tournament tomorrow, I think this actually would be the deck that I would play. It's been pretty hard to get me off of Bangolos, but I think this deck has game against that deck, and also it's just not something people prepare for. They're going so all in on attacking the Bangolos decks that I don't really think that they're ready to play against something like this. The mana is pretty bad. I think that you can see that just by looking at the deck list. You don't really have a ton of dual lands. You're playing 9 forests, 5 mountains. Stomping Grounds is certainly powerful, but the Fabled Passages, while fine in this deck, are really not that impressive. You have so many low. The mana curve of this deck is basically 2. It feels like a lot of the time, and Fabled Passage is not good in those situations. So it's okay. It's something that you're willing to play. I think it's better than a Gain Life land or something along those lines. But it's certainly something that this deck could improve on, is its mana. And Once Upon a Time really does help with that. I mean, it is the reason that you go back to 4 is you need more lands, and you need to fix your mana. And Once Upon a Time is just one of the best things at doing that. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this deck. This is definitely one that I think that if you're watching this or you're listening to this wherever you're consuming this content, check that out. This is a good deck in a metagame that people think is just completely dominant and can't be attacked in any way. And I think that they're going to be surprised. Questing Beast being able to attack through the zombies of those decks, also being able to attack and just take down Planeswalkers the number of times from, I just get attacked by my opponent to the face, kill their Planeswalker on the other side of the battlefield because of Questing Beast is pretty high to its other effects. So, yeah, check this deck out. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this list. If there's anything that you've been running that you've been having success against the Golos decks with. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time with another Deck Tech on the Constructive Criticism YouTube channel.